Good morning, Acton, and welcome to Java with John, hosted by Town Manager John Mangiaratti. Java with John streams every Friday morning at 10 a.m. on ActonTV's YouTube channel. You can also listen live on the radio at 94.9 FM. Tune in weekly for important information from the Town Manager, Health Department, and Council on Aging, as well as a variety of special guests. Residents can contact us with questions or comments at 978-929-6611 or email manager@actonma.gov.
Good morning. Welcome to the Java with John program. It's April 2nd, 2021, and we're excited to have another program to share with you all this morning. Our guests today will be Sharon Mercurio, Council on Aging Director, Melissa Rier, and Andrea Starr to talk about an emerging phenomenon in the recreational world. Heather York, our Director of Nursing with the pandemic and other public health updates, and Kelly Magee Wright, who is the Executive Director of Minuteman Senior Services, which is a program that many of our residents utilize, and we want to make sure we all know more about. So it's been a busy week here in Acton, like I think I say that every week, but it's true. We are working on our reopening and what that's going to look like for our organization, and we'll be presenting some ideas on that to the Board of Selectmen on Monday night. Speaking of the Board of Selectmen, at the recent election earlier this week, an additional step was taken towards changing the name of the Board of Selectmen. It's still technically officially the Board of Selectmen, but at the ballot, voters voted to change it to Select Board. So the next step in that process involves working with our state legislature to formally change our charter and then formally change the name. So it passed at town meeting, it passed at the ballot. There's an additional step, and I'll be going into more details about that also at the board meeting on Monday night. So that's a quick update from the town manager's office. Why don't we go right to Heather? What's happening, Heather? How are we doing?
Good morning, John. Good morning, everyone. So today in Acton, overall cases for COVID-19 since the beginning of the pandemic are at 863 cases. There's currently 30 cases in isolation in town. 801 have recovered and 32 have sadly passed away since the beginning of the pandemic. The state has seen some increased numbers over the last 5 days or so. So just a reminder to keep vigilant as we are still dealing with the pandemic and wondering, if some of these uptick in cases are because of variants that are within the state. So just wanted to give a little update about the vaccine for COVID-19. We did put in the request to the state to regionalize with 7 other towns. That's still pending, unfortunately. So we're hoping that will happen. And we look forward to doing that if we do get approved. We are finishing up with our second dose clinic today. It will be our last second dose clinic, as we are not projected to get any additional doses from the state to run clinics at this point. We're hoping that will change in the future as we get more vaccine within the state. I did want to mention, though, for the homebound residents, we have been taking numbers and names from folks in the community who cannot get out to get a vaccine. The state has requested that local boards of health reach out to their residents, which we have posted some information on our website, and we've also mentioned it at the Board of Health meeting and then here at Java with John a couple of times. I wanted to give the phone number for the nursing department, 978-929-6650, for anyone that is considered to be homebound, where you cannot get out of the house without some significant assistance, whether it's by 2 people or via ambulance. If you're someone that can't normally get out to go to a doctor's office, if you could call us and we can put you on a list. We are hoping to get a small amount of vaccine vaccine. It'll be obviously a first come, first serve. We have some folks listed on the list already. The state has identified that we should be getting a small amount of doses for homebound residents. So we're happy to do that, and we'd like to identify more people in the community. Once we use the vaccine that they give us, we can then request more if we have more homebound residents. So if you're listening and you are that person, or if you know of someone, definitely have them reach out to us so that we can have them on our radar. That would be great. And then just another reminder about vaccine. If you are vaccinated, you have to be 14 days out from your second dose of Moderna or Pfizer vaccine, or 14 days out from the Johnson & Johnson to be considered fully vaccinated. And even with that, I just want to remind people that you should continue with the safety measures of social distancing and face coverings. The vaccine definitely makes us safer, but there's still a small possibility that you can contract the virus even after being fully vaccinated. And this is typical for any vaccine, not just for the COVID vaccine. So if you think about, our yearly flu vaccine, or the pneumonia vaccine that I know a lot of seniors in the community have received, there's still that chance that after having a vaccination, you can still get a virus, whatever we're talking about, whether it's COVID, the flu, or pneumonia. So just keep that in mind when you are going out into the community. Just continue to social distance, continue to wear that face covering, because there is a chance that you could contract the virus. And then with the variants, there is an unknown on that part of it. So that is all that's new with me in Acton. So back to John. Thank you.
Thank you. And thanks for the information about vaccinations. Why don't we go to Sharon? Sharon, what's new at the Senior Center this week?
Morning, John. Thank you. We've had a great week. We continue to rely very heavily on ActonTV to show a lot of our programming, our exercise classes, line dancing, those sorts of things are on ActonTV, as well as a variety of Zoom programs. So coming up this week, we used to do Tips with Terry at 10 on Tuesdays. She's starting to do an outdoor walking group, so that will start April 12th. So she will no longer be doing her Tips with Terry. The group, though, enjoyed getting together every Tuesday so much that Bonnie LaBelle and Paula Walsh have volunteered to take over that group. So now it's Talk and Tea on Tuesdays at 10. So I think they just like to make things difficult for me. So that Zoom link will be available through the Acton COA, and it's just having a little social time together. It's nice to talk to each other, and even though you're not always able to meet with folks face to face, some nice connections have been made over Zoom. Wednesday, April 7th, we'll be having our registration for our online drawing class. So that begins at 1. If you're interested in taking a drawing class, you can email the Senior Center. It's first come, first serve, because there are limited available spaces, but that's when registration will be. Thursday, April 8th at 1 o'clock, we're going to be having a program, Everything We Know About COVID-19, and it's not me personally, because you wouldn't want to hear what I know about COVID-19. It's a doctor that's been known for giving talks and different publications during COVID-19. So she'll have the most up-to-date information. So that'll be 1 o'clock. It's a Zoom program. Friday, April 9th, we'll have Dr. Lowenthal back to do the American Writers Series. That will be at 11 o'clock. So that's what's happening on Zoom this week. We do have board meetings and friends meetings coming up, and some of the drive-through events. Our newsletter is hitting folks their mailbox today and tomorrow. So lots of things to look forward to. And just a reminder, as we've been doing the vaccine clinics, often folks are coming in and they forget their white card or they've lost it. So just a reminder, you really want to hold on to that. not knowing where things are going to go, I think it's going to be easy to travel and to get into some places. You want to have that proof of vaccine. So it's a white card that has CDC on the top. You got it, your first injection, no matter where you got it. They also will put your second dose on it, but you do want to hold on to that. Take a picture with your phone, make a Xerox copy of it. And Staples is actually doing free laminating of those cards through the end of April. So you can bring it to Staples once you're finished with both your vaccines, and they'll laminate it for you as well. So thank you, and have a nice weekend.
Thank you, Sharon. That's a good tip on getting your card vaccinated for free. Thanks for that. Hopefully people take advantage of that. We have a Staples right in town here. So Melissa, what is pickleball? What's going on? What is this?
So pickleball has been an up-and-coming sport around the United States, and it's very popular, and we have a strong community in Acton that is they're playing pickleball out on the courts every day. So we have pickleball courts at 19 Elm Street. It is our typical tennis area, so there are tennis courts out there. And we are lining 4 pickleball courts. Right now there's 2 out there, and we'll be getting 2 more out there. You can reserve the courts by going to our website. So you go to www.actonrec.com and you click on our link right on our homepage. There's a reservation system, and it is free. So you go and click and you put your name in, and you can reserve a court time for you and whoever you're playing with. We do have a locked box out there, and on the website there is the combination, so you can go look at the combination, open the locked box. In the locked box there is pickleball equipment that was donated to the rec department. So there's paddles, there's nets, there's balls, and you're able to go out there and reserve the courts and use our equipment. I'm here with Andrea Starr. She is one of our residents who is an avid pickleball player, and she's here to talk a little bit about the game.
Hey, thank you, Melissa. I'm glad you didn't say an avid, great pickleball player. I'm just an avid player, which is one of the greatest things about pickleball, because you really don't have to be a great player. It has, as Melissa said, become so popular. And mostly amongst a senior population. However, that's really changing. The dynamics are changing. They're teaching it in school now. The younger kids are playing now. But once again, the best part about pickleball is that whether male, female, there's no necessarily an advantage of a male player playing against a female player. So you have a great mix of just people getting together and playing the game. I brought my trusty paddle and ball to show you a little bit about what the equipment looks like. It's just an oversized ping pong paddle and a wiffle type of ball, because pickleball really is a cross between tennis, ping pong, and badminton. Badminton being generally the size of the court, smaller than a tennis court. So over on the tennis courts at Elm Street, we have each side of the tennis court has one whole pickleball court. So you can play 2 games of pickleball on one tennis court. And today, tennis players are used to the fact that a lot of their tennis courts have been lined with pickleball lines. And you see it in a lot of communities. There are communities that have dedicated pickleball courts as well. But thank you to the Recreation Department for allowing us to have these 4 courts now. It's taken some time and some work, and Melissa, thank you so much for all the work that you've put into it. And I just would encourage people, especially during these times of COVID and having been indoors for so long, tradition right now, for the most part, we see players generally playing with masks on, but we're getting to a point where I think when it's known that people have been vaccinated and so forth. Perhaps some of the playtime, people will take their masks down a little bit while playing, and then while stepping off the court and waiting to play again, maybe wearing masks. But it's just a great way to get back out and into things. And you don't have to have been a former tennis player or a former racket sport player to have some success and happiness and excitement about playing pickleball. It's a great social sport as well. That's
Thanks, Sandy. Yeah, so if you have any questions about pickleball or how to register for a court, feel free to email us, recreation@actonma.gov, or you can give us a call, 978-929-6640. So yes, back to you, John.
Thank you for the update on pickleball. How do you two play each other? Who wins when you two play?
Well, we're going to, and Melissa will have a force to contend with.
Well, good luck. I wish you both the best. Thank you. Thanks for sharing this program. Kelly. So Kelly is the Executive Director for Minuteman Senior Services, which is a regional agency that serves many communities. Which communities? And tell us more about Minuteman, please, Kelly.
Yeah, so thank you for the opportunity to be here. And I now have a new interest in pickleball myself as a result of participating. So Minuteman Senior Services, we are designated as an aging service access point by the Commonwealth for the Executive Office of Elder Affairs to administer a number of programs. And Acton is one of the 16 communities we support, in addition to Boxborough, Maynard, Littleton, Concord, Carlisle, and then we had as far east as sort of Arlington, Lexington, Wilmington, Woburn, Burlington, Lincoln, Stowe. Hopefully I've captured all 16 as part of that. You may be familiar with some of the services that we run. We've had a close collaboration with the Council on Aging. And so we run the Meals on Wheels program and have run the senior dining program out of the Council on Aging. We also provide Medicare Shine health insurance counseling, and that has been a nice partnership with the Council on Aging to offer that to Acton residents. We administer programs for home care and care management for people who might need services like a home health aide or a personal care attendant, homemaking in their home, and we help coordinate those services and make sure that that's running smoothly. And we also provide other services such as information and referral. We support individuals who might need assistance with bill paying. And in cases where there's individuals who are at risk, we oversee the Elder Services Protective Services Program. It's been certainly a challenging year that we recognize for seniors, persons with disabilities, and for caregivers. And I just want to emphasize and let people know that we are here. We have been deemed an essential service. So even though we've maybe had some changes in terms of the way that we administer programs, we remain open for referrals and really want to encourage individuals that if you have a need or an area of support, maybe because you've had a change in health status, or if there's a need for some additional resources in the home, we do really want to encourage people to contact us. Many of our services are without charge and others may be on a sliding scale, and we're happy to talk with you about what your individual situation is and certainly what your areas of need are. And really to try and work and coordinate a plan that meets you where you are in terms of what's important to you, and identify the resources that are available both through the Council on Aging and through other departments. So.
Great. Well, thanks, Kelly. Yeah, I know that you have a close partnership with our Council on Aging. About generally, how many seniors do you think you're serving in one way or another in the region or in the town?
So, through our varying programs with Minuteman, I think for our home care program, we serve about 65 to 70 unduplicated individuals. With the meals program, sometimes we have people who receive home delivered meals from us up to 5 days per week. Historically, many have attended sort of the senior dining programs. So the numbers certainly are, variable across each of the different programs that we serve.
Great. Well, thank you. I know we've collaborated a little bit over the last few months on some food service programs, and I appreciate everything you're doing for the community and for the region, and the support that you provide to our folks over at 30 Sudbury. So thanks for doing that, and thanks for being on the program this morning.
Thank you for all your partnership over this past year. We have absolutely appreciated it.
Okay, well, that wraps up our Java with John, unless anyone has any parting remarks or closing comments they want to share with us. No? Okay, good. Well, let's call it a week, and we'll do this again next week. Take care, everyone.